Here's my straight line. Here's my hinge. Yeah, you see it? And then back up. That's all it is. We're just gonna add. All right, RDLs, let's talk about it. I think I teach proper form for hip hinge movements more than I do anything else. It's a great exercise that can benefit your hamstrings and your glute growth. However, if you do it incorrectly, then you can cause back injury. All right, so this is the first thing that I want you to do. This is how I always teach it. Whatever surface that you're using, you want to make sure that it's lower than the bend of your knee. All right, so you can use this, or if you got something that's this low, you can use this as well. Because what's important is I want you to keep your knee and everything below it in the same position. The only thing that's moving is your hips. So you are here, hinging, and then back up. So here's my straight line. Here's my hinge. Yeah, you see it? And then back up. That's all it is. We're just going to add weight to it. And I have 3 different sources of weight that we're going to go through and see which one we like the best. So here we go. Here, hinge. I feel a stretch in my glutes and in my hamstrings. This is where the magic happens, not at the top. And then I thrust my hips forward. Here it is on something shorter. I just want to make sure that my legs stay stable. That's it. So here we go. Hinge back, boom, and then forward. If it's anything that's taller than the bend of my knee, then it's going to hinder my hinge. So I don't want that. So whatever you use, it just has to be shorter than the bend of your knee. All right, so now let's pick a poison. Let's pick a kettlebell. Let me move this out of the way. All right, let's pick a kettlebell. Let's see what happens. From this position, right? Look where the kettlebell is in line with my body. Now, if I hinge my hips properly, the kettlebell is not gonna magically swing forward. It's gonna stay in line with my shin, and then I can come back up. That's your form. It's just that simple. It's not a bend over. See how I just bent over and my hips didn't go anywhere? It's here, just like that. And then come on back. If I use the shorter one, same thing. I'm not putting any pressure on the box. It's just hips go back and then pull up here. All right. That's what it looks like with a kettlebell. Same thing with a weight. That weight, whatever you're using, is going to stay in line with your shin. Once you learn this movement and you perfect it, it's going to blow your glute game up. Same thing. You see where that weight lines up with my legs? Same thing. All right. Let's use a bar. So a deadlift and an RDL are both hip hinge movements, but they're performed a little differently. Either way, you need to perfect the hip hinge movement for both. All right. RDLs always start at the top of the move. All right. So here we go. See how it's in line with my shins, and then back up. Let me get right back against the box. In line with my shins, and then back up. Yeah. This is an RDL. If I had a full Olympic bar and I had weight stacked on it, a deadlift starts at the bottom, which means that you're a little lower. Let's grab something. Let's play a little bit. We got time, baby. Now, of course, this is a shorter bar, so you wouldn't deadlift with this per se. But for the sake of this video, we're going to use it. I'm going to push the box back a little bit because a hip hinge for a deadlift is a little deeper. All right. But a deadlift starts here on the floor. But check my form. Look where the bar is. Here. You see that? So I didn't squat into it. I took my hips, hinged them back, and I went all the way down with that hinge. Yes. Now, when I go to stand up, hips come forward. Yeah, that's a deadlift. All the way down, hips hinge, 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 down. Look where the bar is, and up. Yeah, that's the difference. Once you get comfortable with your hip hinge movements. Let me get this out of the way. Then we can play. We can play and we can do your B stance, which you're standing here. Just take one leg and put it back. Now the hip hinge for the B stance is on this leg. So let me switch. It's on the front leg. All right. So watch. Here's my hip hinge. Here's my RDL. Right? You see it? Now watch. Boom. Same hinge. Back up. It's just on one leg. That's it. So once you learn the proper form, then you can start doing my favorite, which is a walking RDL. Yeah. You can get super, super wide and do my double wide RDL. But you got to perfect that movement because like I said, with all exercises, you need to be safe. You need to maintain your form. But this particular one will mess your lower back up if you're taking heavy weight and you're just bending over with it. Yes? Happy training.